You're staring at your alarm clock on February 28th, the numbers glowing 6:45 a.m. But something feels off, way off. Your heart's racing like you've just run a marathon in your sleep. And as you swing your legs over the side of the bed, a strange warmth spreads through your chest. It's not the usual grogginess, it's like the universe just whispered your name, pulling you into the day with a force you can't ignore. You shake it off at first, chalking it up to another restless night, but deep down, you know this isn't ordinary. Today, of all days, feels loaded with possibility, like the air itself is humming with secrets meant just for you. Think about it. You're not some wide-eyed kid chasing dreams anymore. You're in your late 30s, 40s, maybe even 50s, juggling a job that pays the bills but leaves your soul scraping by, a family that demands everything you've got left, and that nagging voice in the back of your mind saying, there has to be more than this. You've pushed through layoffs that hit like a gut punch, relationships that frayed under the weight of unspoken hurts, and those quiet nights when the bills stack up higher than your hopes. You've prayed, maybe in church on Sundays, or just staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m., asking why life feels like it's testing you at every turn. And now this morning, as you sip your coffee, black, no sugar, the way you've liked it since your 20s, that warmth lingers. It's as if the heavens are saying, hang on, your time is here. You step outside, the crisp February air nipping at your cheeks, and the world looks the same. Cars rushing by, neighbors walking their dogs, the distant hum of the city waking up. But you feel it, a subtle shift, like the veil between what's seen and unseen just got a little thinner. Your phone buzzes with a text from work, another deadline looming, but you brush it aside. Today, you're drawn to the coffee shop down the block, the one with the worn wooden counters and the smell of fresh grounds that always grounds you. As you fumble in your pocket for change, counting out dollars that never seem to stretch far enough, the barista, a young woman with kind eyes and a name tag reading Mia, looks up and smiles. Attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life. A guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you. And strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10 Zuru readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who are tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment. Not the polite automatic smile, but one that reaches her eyes like she's been expecting you. It's on me today, she says, sliding the steaming cup across the counter. You blink, caught off guard, your wallet half out. Wait, what? No, I can pay. But she waves it off, her voice soft but sure. I've been waiting to do this. Something told me this morning that today was the day to pay it forward, and when you walked in, I just knew. Her words hang in the air, and a chill runs down your spine. Not from the cold, but from the recognition in her gaze. She's a stranger, yet she looks at you like she sees the battles you've fought, the faith you've clung to through the storms. You thank her, mumbling something about luck, but as you walk away with that free coffee warming your hands, you can't shake the feeling that this is no accident. It's the start of something bigger, a sign that the universe is finally repaying what you've invested in silence. And it doesn't stop there. You're heading to the bus stop, mind already drifting to the stack of overdue notices on your kitchen table, when an older man in a wool coat pauses mid-stride. He's got that weathered look, like life's carved lines into his face from years of hard work, and he reaches into his pocket, pulling out a crisp $20 bill. Here, he says, pressing it into your palm before you can protest. You look like you could use it. No strings, just felt right. His eyes lock on yours for a beat too long. And in that moment, it's like he knows about the car repair you skipped last month, the groceries you stretched thin for your kids, the prayers you whispered for a break. You stand there, stunned, as he nods and walks on, disappearing into the crowd. Strangers handing you surprise cash, acts of kindness that feel too precise to be random. What if I told you this isn't coincidence? That February 28th holds a power most people miss, a cosmic alignment designed for chosen ones like you, people who've endured, believed, and kept going when everything screamed to quit. You've felt it before, haven't you? That pull towards something greater, even on the days when life feels like it's dragging you under. Maybe it's the way your dreams have been more vivid lately, filled with symbols you can't quite place. Doors opening, paths lighting up, or the synchronicities that pop up when you're at your lowest, like a song on the radio echoing your exact thoughts. But today, it's amplified, turning whispers into shouts from the universe. As you pocket that 20, a smile creeps onto your face for the first time in weeks. The weight on your shoulders lightens, just a fraction, and you wonder, is this what they've meant all along when they talk about being chosen? Not fame or fortune in the spotlight, but quiet miracles woven into the fabric of your ordinary day. Hold on, because what happens next might just rewrite the story you've been telling yourself about who you are and what's possible. Imagine if these encounters aren't isolated, they're the opening act to a flood of blessings tailored for you, the one who's been faithful through the fire. You've probably noticed how February always feels a bit heavier, right? Shorter days, that post-holiday slump where resolutions fade and winter's grip tightens. For most folks, it's just another month grinding towards spring. But if you're listening to that inner voice, you know there's more at play. Picture yourself last week, staring at your bank account after paying the mortgage, watching the numbers dip dangerously low. The fridge hums in the background, half empty, and your spouse's tired eyes meet yours over dinner, both of you too exhausted to voice the worry. It's those moments that define the struggle, the endless cycle of work, worry, repeat. You show up for your kids' soccer games even when your own dreams feel buried under carpools and deadlines. You tithe at church even when it pinches, holding on to the promise that faith moves mountains. But lately, those mountains seem taller, the path steeper. You catch yourself zoning out during meetings, your mind wandering to what-ifs. What if the next bill is the one that breaks us? What if this is all there is? That's the symptom staring back at you in the mirror each morning. The quiet erosion of hope, the way joy slips through your fingers like sand. It's not dramatic. It's the slow drip of doubt that comes from years of pouring out without seeing the return. You remember that time last summer when the AC broke during a heat wave and you sweated through the night, fanning your family with newspapers because fixing it meant choosing between that and school supplies? Or the holiday season when you smiled through the pain, wrapping gifts with money scraped from overtime, all while wondering if God hears the unspoken pleas. These aren't just bad luck. They're the markers of a life that's been tested, refined in ways that leave you stronger but scarred. And on February 28th, as the calendar flips toward March, that testing reaches a tipping point. The air feels charged, doesn't it? Like the static before a storm, building to release. But here's where it gets real. Those strangers aren't random. They're drawn to you, compelled by a light you carry that most don't even see in themselves. Think back to yesterday, or the day before, when you held the door for someone at the grocery store, or offered a listening ear to a coworker venting about their own woes. Small acts, but they ripple. Now, on this day, the ripples come back tenfold. You're waiting for the light to change at a crosswalk, the city's bustle swirling around you, horns blaring, pedestrians shoving past, when a woman in business attire stops short. She's got a briefcase clutched tight, looking every bit the stressed professional, but her expression softens as she approaches. "Excuse me," she says, her voice cutting through the noise. "I don't know why, but I have to give you this." She hands you a folded 50, her hand trembling slightly. "It's like a voice in my head said you'd know what to do with it." You stammer thanks, but she's already walking away, glancing back with a mix of wonder and relief, as if unburdening herself. In that instant, the symptom of isolation cracks open. You've felt alone in your struggles, haven't you? Like no one else gets the weight of keeping it all together. The job that drains you, the family that needs you unbreakable, the spirit that yearns for confirmation that you're on the right path. But these encounters, they're validation wrapped in cash, proof that your perseverance echoes beyond what you see. It's the universe saying, "I see you, I've always seen you." And as you continue your day, that 50 burning a hole in your pocket, you start to notice the pattern. The cashier at the corner store waves off the cost of your lunch, insisting it's covered. A delivery driver, dropping off a package next door, slips you an extra tip he doesn't need. Each one feels personal, timed perfectly to ease the pinch points of your life. Yet beneath the relief, questions bubble up. Why today? Why now, after all this time? You've toughed it out through worse Februaries. Remember 2018, when the flu season hit your household like a wrecking ball? Or that unexpected car trouble right before Christmas? Those were the low points that made you question everything. Nights when you knelt in prayer, bargaining with the divine for just a sign. And now signs are raining down, but in the form of strangers' generosity. It's almost too much, stirring a mix of gratitude and unease. What if ignoring this means missing the bigger picture? What if this day is the key to unlocking the abundance you've been circling for years? Let's pause here, because understanding the why behind this phenomenon changes everything. You see, February 28th isn't just a date on the calendar, it's a threshold, a moment when the stars align in ways that science and spirit both point to as extraordinary. Astronomers talk about the moon's cycle peaking around late February, pulling tides and emotions in subtle waves. But for those attuned to the spiritual side, it's deeper, a thinning of the veil, like the ancient Celts believed during Imbolc's echoes. In American terms, think of it as the calm before spring's renewal, when winter's lessons culminate in unexpected grace. The truth is, chosen ones like you, folks who've faced financial droughts that tested your trust, emotional tempests that shook your foundations, emit a frequency that draws these blessings. It's not magic, it's alignment. Studies from places like the Institute of Noetic Sciences show how positive intention can influence random acts of kindness, creating chains of goodwill that science calls synchronicity cascades. But spiritually, it's the divine responding to your faithfulness. You've sowed seeds in barren soil, tithing when the pantry was sparse, forgiving when hurt ran deep, persisting when doubt screamed loudest, and on this date, the harvest begins, funneled through strangers who've been nudged by the same higher power. Imagine a man named Tom, a 42-year-old mechanic from Ohio, much like you. He'd been laid off twice in 5 years, watching his savings evaporate while his wife battled illness. Nights were spent in worry, but he kept showing up, to church, to his kids' events, to the grind. Then, on a February 28th, much like today, he stepped out for coffee, and the world shifted. A customer at his shop out of the blue paid double and handed him cash for whatever you need. Later, a neighbor slipped an envelope under his door with enough to cover meds. Tom told me it felt like God using people as messengers, confirming he wasn't forgotten. That's the revelation. Your trials aren't punishments, they're preparations for this outpouring. But what few people understand is how this ties to your unique calling, that inner sense of destiny. It's been building layer by layer through every setback. The cause runs deep. Energetically, it's your aura expanding after compression, like a spring releasing. Psychologists at Harvard have studied resilience, noting how those who've endured build an invisible magnetism that attracts support. Spiritually, it's biblical. Give, and it shall be given unto you. You've given in ways unseen, your time, your tears, your unyielding belief, and now the return manifests through these portals of kindness. As the day wears on, you find yourself at the park, sitting on a bench to catch your breath. The sun filters through bare branches, and a jogger slows, pulling out his wallet. Hey, I don't know you, but here's $10. Buy yourself something nice. It's surreal, this string of surprises, each one easing the knot in your chest. Yet it stirs something profound, the realization that your light touches others, prompting them to act. You've been the stranger once, haven't you? Helping a friend through divorce, volunteering at the shelter when your own plate was full. Now, it's your turn to receive, and in receiving to recognize the cycle. This is where the transformation begins, though. Recognizing these signs isn't enough. You have to step into them, embrace the path they're illuminating. Start simple. Today, as these gifts come, pause and give thanks. Not just a quick, thanks God, but a deep acknowledgement. Journal it, note the details, the stranger's eyes, the exact amount, the feeling in your gut. That's step one. Awareness turns coincidence into confirmation. Take Sarah, a 38-year-old teacher from Texas. She'd been drowning in student loans and single-parent life, feeling invisible until her February 28th. A parent handed her cash for gas money, then a colleague covered her lunch. It sparked something. She started a daily gratitude practice, and within weeks, opportunities flowed. A promotion, unexpected aid. Her story mirrors what's possible for you. These moments are invitations to align further. But before I share more on how to harness this, consider this. What if today is the pivot, the day you claim your role as the chosen? The causes run deeper still, woven into the fabric of time itself. February 28th marks the end of a lunar cycle in many traditions, a time of release and renewal. In numerology, 2 + 2 = 8 vibrates with balance and abundance, amplifying intentions set in faith. Scientifically, endorphin levels peak post-winter, making us more open to connection. Strangers sense your openness, respond in kind. You've endured the symptoms, the financial squeezes that keep you up at night, the emotional isolation that makes family dinners feel hollow. Causes like societal pressures, where 40% of Americans over 35 report chronic stress per CDC data, compound it. But your spirit's resilience, that's the key. It's why on this day, the ethereal meets the earthly, blessings pour through human hands. To transform, build on this. Step 2, affirm your worthiness. Stand in front of the mirror tonight and say, I am chosen, and abundance flows to me. Sounds simple, but it's powerful, backed by studies on positive affirmations, rewiring neural pathways. Then act, share the blessings. That 20. Use part for you, part for another. It multiplies the energy. Remember Jack, 51, from Florida. Retired early due to health issues, he faced mounting medical bills. On February 28th, a beach walker gave him cash for ice cream, sparking a chain. Friends rallied, debts eased. He dove into meditation, and his life bloomed. That's the path, from symptom to solution, through revelation. As evening falls, you're home, tallying the day's surprises, maybe $100 total, enough to breathe easy. But it's more than money, it's affirmation. The universe chose you because you've chosen faith amid the fray. Yet there's a deeper layer to why this happens precisely now. Historical patterns show late February as a time of divine intervention. Think Washington's birthday ties to national renewal, but spiritually, it's when souls like yours, who've navigated loss, divorces hitting 50% in your age group per stats, receive recompense. The cause? Karmic alignment, where past perseverance tips the scales. For the solution, integrate this into daily life. Create a blessing ritual. Each morning, visualize strangers' kindness, invite it in. Tie it to prayer or mindfulness. Apps like Calm have guided sessions, but infuse your faith. Stories abound. Lisa, 45, from California, post-bankruptcy, saw cash gifts on this day lead to a side hustle that paid off debts. She joined a 30-day journey of spiritual exercises, transforming scarcity to surplus. And speaking of that, if you're feeling this pull, the ebook Call of the Chosen, the 30-day journey, lays it out. Daily steps to attune to these cosmic signals with meditations and real-life prompts. It's like a roadmap for days like today, turning one-off miracles into a lifestyle. But let's not rush. There's more to unpack in the causes. Quantum physics hints at entanglement. Your energy links to others subconsciously. When you've healed inner wounds, those family challenges, the doubts, you attract vessels of grace. February 28th amplifies it, like a full moon for the soul. Symptoms hit hard in midlife. The 9-to-5 grind leaving no room for purpose, per Gallup polls showing 85% disengaged at work. You feel it, the texture of worn-out shoes from walking that tightrope, the sound of the mailbox creaking with more demands. But today, strangers' hands offer relief, their smiles a balm. To deepen the solution, connect with community. Share your story online. Comment below if this resonates. What surprise came your way today? It builds belonging, amplifies the flow. Another story, Mike, 39, construction worker in Michigan. Winter's brutal paychecks short. February 28th, a client tipped big, then a buddy loaned tools for free. He realized it was his quiet integrity drawing it. He started a journal, tracking synchronicities, and abundance grew. The revelation continues. Astrologically, Pisces season starts around then, heightening intuition. For chosen ones, it's when perseverance pays. Your trials, like emotional storms. Depression rates up 20% post-35, says NIH. Forge empathy that magnetizes help. Step 3 in transformation, release old patterns. Forgive the past shortages, visualize plenty, use affirmations nightly. Tie it to the ebook's journey. Day 1 alone shifted perspectives for thousands. As you reflect on the day, the symptoms fade. That emptiness filled by purpose's glimpse. Cause is clear, your faithfulness opened the portal. Solutions empower, embrace, affirm, share. But wait, there's urgency here. What if tomorrow you forget and the flow slows? Lean in now. Hit like if this stirred you. Subscribe for more on chosen paths. Expanding on symptoms, consider the sensory toll. The stale coffee from yesterday's pot, symbolizing routine's rut. The ache in your back from overtime. The silence after kids' bedtime stories turn to worries. February 28th disrupts it. Strangers' cash, a tactile reminder of provision. Causes delve into biblical precedent. Leap year ties, though not always, but echoes of Esther's timing, deliverance in the nick. Modern data. Acts of kindness spike end winter, per social psych studies. But for you, it's divine orchestration. Solution step 4, meditate on gratitude. 10 minutes daily, picturing the thread connecting you to helpers. Real story. Elena, 47, nurse in New York. Exhausting shifts, low pay. This day, patient's family's gifted cash. She used the ebook's prompts to sustain it, landing a better role. You've probably felt the isolation symptom acutely. Friends drifting as life pulls you apart. Family strains from unspoken stresses. But today proves connections alive, strangers as kin. The why? Energetic cycles, chakras align late February, per Eastern influences blended with Western faith. Your root chakra, tested by finances, stabilizes here. To transform fully, audit beliefs. What scarcity stories hold you back? Rewrite them. The 30-day journey guides this with exclusivity for those ready. Another pillar shift. Symptoms of doubt. The way prayers feel echoed in void, church services rote. But cash in hand. Tangible faith. Revelation. Neurotheology shows spiritual practices light up reward centers, priming for blessings. February 28th, peak window. Solution, daily intention setting. Today I receive with grace. Story of Robert, 55, veteran from Arizona. PTSD and bills, strangers' gifts started healing. He embraced the journey, found peace. As night deepens, you're changed. The day's events replay. Mia's coffee, the man's 20, the woman's 50. Each a thread in your chosen tapestry. Yet to sustain, understand causes holier. Angels work through people, as scriptures say. Your light calls them. Final steps, community. Share this video with a friend in need. Urgency, blessings peak today. Align now. Recap the journey. From morning stir to evening's awe. Symptoms identified, causes unveiled, solutions at hand. You're not just surviving, you're thriving as chosen. Transformation awaits. Grab the ebook, Call of the Chosen, the 30-day journey now. Limited intro price, your portal to ongoing miracles. Don't miss this. Your next February 28th depends on today's choice. And remember, chosen one, the universe whispers, but today it hands you the proof. What will you do with it? The call is yours. As you sit there in the quiet of your living room, the day's events replaying like a film reel in your mind, that final question lingers. What will you do with it? The call is yours, but let's linger on this moment a little longer, because true transformation doesn't happen in a rush. It's in the quiet unfolding, the way a seed cracks open after the soil's long winter. Picture the soft glow of your lamp casting shadows on the walls, the faint scent of that free coffee still clinging to your clothes, a reminder of Mia's unexpected kindness. Your hands, perhaps still holding that crumpled 20 or the folded 50, feel heavier now, not with burden, but with possibility. It's emotional, this shift. The warmth in your chest from earlier evolving into a steady hum, like a heartbeat syncing with something vast and unseen. You've carried so much alone, haven't you? The late-night worries that twist your stomach, the way hope flickers like a candle in wind. But tonight, as the clock ticks past 9 p.m., you sense the turning point. This isn't just about the money, it's about reclaiming the narrative of your life, one grateful breath at a time. Let's deepen this revelation by circling back to those encounters, expanding on what they truly signify. Remember the barista Mia, with her kind eyes that seemed to pierce right through your facade of "I'm fine." In that split second when she slid the coffee your way, it wasn't just caffeine she offered. It was a mirror, reflecting back the resilience you've built brick by brick. Sensory details flood in now, in reflection. The steam rising in lazy curls, carrying notes of roasted beans and a hint of cinnamon from the bakery case, mingling with the faint urban rain scent seeping through the door. Emotionally, it hit like a gentle wave, washing away the morning's anxiety, leaving you exposed yet seen. Why does this matter? Because in the midst of your struggles, the job that feels like a cage, the family obligations that pull you in every direction, these moments remind you that your faithfulness hasn't gone unnoticed. It's a deeper development of the idea. Your chosen status isn't some abstract crown. It's woven into the everyday, amplified on this date when the veil thins, allowing divine nudges to flow through human hearts. Transitioning from that warmth, consider the older man in the wool coat at the bus stop. His hand, rough and calloused from years of labor much like your own, pressed the 20 into your palm with a firmness that spoke of shared understanding. You felt it then, the chill of the February air contrasting the bill's crisp texture, the distant rumble of the bus approaching like an unanswered question. But pausing to reflect, what insight does this offer? It's not random charity, it's a karmic echo of your own quiet generosities. Think of the times you've slipped a few bucks to a panhandler on a tough day, or covered a co-worker's shift without fanfare. Those acts, born from your enduring spirit, create ripples that return, especially now, in late February's charged atmosphere. Explanations from spiritual traditions deepen this. In Kabbalah, it's the Sephirot of Chesed, loving kindness, flowing freely at cycle's end, while modern psychology, through mirror neuron research, shows how empathy circuits light up, compelling strangers to act on your unspoken needs. For you, enduring the symptoms of scarcity, the gnawing hunger not just for food, but for purpose. This is the universe's way of saying, your giving has been received. Now, receive in turn. And that woman at the crosswalk, her trembling hand extending the 50 wasn't mere impulse. It was a profound intersection of paths. The city's chaos swirled, honking taxis, the sharp tang of exhaust mixing with her subtle perfume of lavender and stress. Yet in her attention, you need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life. A guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you, and strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10 Zuru readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who are tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment.